Hey, you kids, get off my lawn. It's me again. It's the cranky old man, still sitting at home, still looking for part-time work, still recovering from his double hip replacement. Yeah, that's right. I'm up to walking with a cane, though. I'm walking pretty good with the cane. Take the cane away from me, I waddle around like a stupid little penguin. But that's my problem, not yours. Today, I'm coming to you to talk about an album. It's an album that was released on Record Store Day. And I have to apologize first. I should have been able to cover this further, but one thing led to another, mostly me being in the hospital. So, this has really been between this and job searches. This has really been the first chance I've had a chance to sit down with y'all and talk about this album. This is actually the 13th album and the last album that Black Sabbath would do with Warner Brothers Records. This is Black Sabbath 13. Black Sabbath, The Eternal Idol. This album is the first album to feature Tony Martin on vocals. And this album stayed pretty much a lost classic for a lot of years. When I had it when it first came out, I had it on cassette. Yeah, I'm that freaking old. I actually bought it on cassette. And I got a couple of copies of that out. It's such an incredible album. And I don't know, I just can't say enough good things about it. But this thing stayed a lost classic because Sabbath switched management, it could not manage it, but record companies a couple of times, and they couldn't get the rights. So when it came time to re-release everything that was Tony Martin era, they were all like on like IRS. I think they were like the IRS label and Rhino. And so they were able to release everything from Headless Cross right up to Cross Purposes, but they couldn't get this one. And now here it is as a Record Store Day exclusive. Came out on this nice red vinyl, which, you know what, is so freaking cool. I'm going to go ahead and put it on right now because I can. I'm right here. Voila. So I can listen to it while I talk to you all about it. It came out, they released it on red vinyl now. Is it exclusive because it's red vinyl? Will it probably come out in stores? Will you probably see it for general? Probably one day because, the Black Sabbath fandom, the ones that have to have this stuff, and they couldn't get there for life. They're like me, they couldn't. But here's my story for this, and this is a great story. Record Store Day happened right around the time I was heading in for my first surgery. My first hip surgery, first hip replacement. Got the left one done in April, the right one done in May. Here we are in June, still recovering. But anyway, I was in the hospital, and I had a friend named Phil. I've got to mention his last name, Rowell. Phil Rowell. The only reason why I have to mention his last name is because I've got another friend named Phil Go, and I buy records from Phil. The big lesson here is everybody named Phil is an awesome human being. I've never met anybody yet named Phil that's not. If you know a guy named Phil that's an asshole, leave me a comment down below and let me know. Also, leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think about this album. Anyway, he got me this album. He got up early. Phil Rowell got up early. Went to his first record store day ever, just to get me this album as a get well present. And held on to it until, June when I was able to catch up with him. You know, because by then I was able to get out of the house. But anyway, this album, awesome though it was, also comes with a lyric sheet, by the way, was a bit of a cluster schmoz when it comes to finding out who the players were. Example, Tony Iommi at this point is the only original Black Sabbath member to play on this album. Dave the Beast Spitz, who did play on some Sabbath albums, later albums, is credited as the bass player for this album. But actually, Bob Daisley played the bass on this album. Eric Singer, who you might know from Kiss and Badlands, and also another one of my favorite Sabbath albums, the album before this one, which really is an Iommi solo album, but I digress. Eric Singer played drums on this, and he does a phenomenal job. And there was a fellow named Ray Gillen, no relation to Ian from Deep Purple. Ray Gillen recorded the vocals for this. He was replaced mid-tour. They hired him mid-tour to replace the last singer that they had from the Seventh Star album. And when he went into the studio for this, I guess he was struggling with the lyrics. I don't know if it was the content or just the way it was. And he was complaining about management not paying him or whatever. So he left. And they brought in Tony Martin. And Tony Martin re-recorded and re-signed these. Now you can get a special edition of this on CD that has the Ray Gillen mix with it. And I've heard the Ray Gillen mix. You can even hear it online. And quite frankly, I don't think it's as good as the Tony Martin remix. I mean, the Tony Martin mix. I think Tony Martin did an excellent job. This is by far, to me, his best work. And I like this album and Cross Purposes as two of his best. Definitely two of his best. But it starts out with The Shining, the track list, Ancient Warrior, which is an incredible song. Hard Life to Love, Glory Ride, which is another really good one. Born to Lose, Nightmare, which is good. Scarlet Pimpernel, which is one of those classic Iommi instrumentals where he showcases his guitar work. And it sounds really cool. Medievalish, sort of, I guess. Lost Forever. And then it ends with a really ominous song, The Eternal Idol. And again, kick-ass, all killer, no filler, front to back. Interesting story about this cover. You can't really see it real well. That looks like a statue. That's actually two people painted in the image of a statue. They wanted to use, there's a statue that looks like this, and they wanted to use that statue, but they couldn't get the rights to use it. They couldn't get permission. So they brought in a couple of models and they painted them up. And unfortunately, those models had to go to the hospital. Go figure. You'd think Iommi would have learned when he painted Bill Ward gold. But anyway, this is an incredible album. If you can find it, get it. Until next time, peace out. And most importantly, stay off my lawn.